The main thing that I wanted to talk about though today in this second part was the mentality of crypto. We saw that Sony's launching a crypto exchange. We saw that Dave was talking about Bitcoin only Bitcoin. And I kind of had a different thought that I like I said, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this in the last couple of years in terms of exchanging some of my cryptocurrencies for Bitcoin and what that looks like, and selling some Bitcoin or selling some cryptocurrencies for my life. And so kind of what I came up with yesterday is that you really have to think about if you were to sell some of your cryptocurrencies. And I apologize if somebody's out there watching this that doesn't have any cryptos, you're Bitcoin only, you're in a good spot already. But for everybody else who has been kind of trying to figure out when to do this, when to sell your Dogecoin, when to sell your Ethereum or your Theta or whatever that is, when to sell it, what's the best time to sell it? Because we've seen it go from $16, this is Theta specifically, $15 all the way down to like 40 cents in 2 years. So they are very volatile. They're much more volatile than Bitcoin. There's much less of a floor there compared to Bitcoin. But the one thing you really have to keep in mind here is that when you sell them, what are you doing with them? So if you were to sell, let's say that you have 20 Litecoin and you eventually want to sell that, but what are you selling it for? So think about that before you try to trade any of your cryptocurrencies, any of your altcoins. Think about what you're going to be doing with it, because then the when becomes different. Because if the first road here is that if you're selling your Litecoin to buy Bitcoin, then in my opinion, the best time to do it is today. And the reason for that is because if you look at the chart of Bitcoin versus Lightning, Bitcoin versus pretty much any other cryptocurrency, it's just like this, down and down and down over time. Ethereum, Litecoin, Theta, everything goes down in comparison, and every asset on earth will go down in comparison to Bitcoin over the long run. So I think that if you're trading your altcoins, your cryptocurrencies for Bitcoin, the best time to be doing it is today. But on the flip side of that, if you're somebody who, let's say that you took out a loan of $20,000 a couple of years ago, you got really excited about Bitcoin, or you need to buy a new house or whatever that may be. If you took out some debt in the last 10 years, and that's your goal here, is that you want to pay that off. So then I would say the answer is different, because what's going to happen here over these next 2 years is that Bitcoin's going to rip, the altcoins are going to follow. Everybody's going to be selling the next SafeMoon, the next Shiba Inu coin, whatever that is. That's what's going to happen here, without a doubt. They're already kind of setting the stage for that right now. There's people talking about Caspa. There's talking the better, faster version of Bitcoin. It's going to happen without a doubt. They're already setting the stage for it right now. So just think about that. Walk yourself through that scenario there. Bitcoin's going to rip. All the altcoins are going to follow, even though they have nothing there. They're just smoke and mirrors. They're going to follow. People are going to get excited. People are going to start buying. They're going to hold on too long. They're going to get burned. But at that time, the fiat price is going to be much higher than it is today. So if you want to use your Litecoin to pay off your debt or to buy a new deck or whatever that is, especially debt though, that's what I want to focus on mostly. If you're trying to pay off debt, then I wouldn't be selling it right now. I would wait. So think about that you got two options there. You can either, if you're buying Bitcoin with it, if you're trying to trade your altcoins for Bitcoin, the time to do it is today. If you're actually going to sell some of your Litecoin, your altcoins to pay off your debt or to buy a car or whatever that is, I would probably wait. Because if you look at an example of this, let's say that I have 1,000 Theta tokens and the price of them today is $1.50. So that means I have $1,500 worth of fiat. That's what I get for that. Pretty fuck all, honestly, unless you need to pay off your credit card or whatever that is. But when it follows Bitcoin, once we go through this next Bitcoin bull cycle, that could get up to $20 each or even $5 each. Then you have $5,000 that you put towards your fiat loan versus $1,500. So I think that's really what you have to consider here. Hey, the grinder is back.